Okay,
yeah.
let's start with this little discussion about the article that we read that is about pidgins and crows and important topics in linguistics and the development of language during these years. So what do you think about this article, Sophie? Tell me.
Hello, first of all, hello, Andre. So it was really interesting. I found like I said, I found very interesting how Pidgin and Creole language can emerge from areas that are in the coast in region with access to the ocean. So it seems that marine areas have been historically fertile grounds for the development of this language because of how they have to communicate. So it was really interesting to know the background of the history. How do you think about what I say?
Yes, that's a great point, Sophie. As we know, the oceans has been a great trade, also cultural changes and exchange and contact between diverse linguistic groups. Also, it's important to mention the diversity in the interactions, often necessities a simplifying forms of communication, which is where pidgin language come into play. Also, we have to highlight that take Chinook jargon from the Pacific Northwest, for example, it emerged as a way for indigenous people, also European settlers, and Tartars to communicate along the coast.
Yes, what I found particularly fascinating is that pidgin language are often seen as reduced forms of dominant language because sometimes to use this language, there is a dominant language that, for example, that one I can say is in Curacao. They speak before it used to be a pidgin, but now it's a Creole, and now they use this Creole as their mother tongue. I want to hear to see how they know the papiamento. So it's a mix of a lot of language between Spanish, English, and also from Holland because it's a city that belongs to Holland. So it's very fascinating how they can for example they can use a Creole, but after they can use as their mother tongue. Yes, this is what I have to say. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I think that you give us a great example of how was Creoles and pidgins during this time. Also, we have these languages may be simpler in some ways, but with the pass of the time, it could be corrupt or ungrammatical. And because they have their own set of rules and are perfectly situated to the specific contents in which they are using, it depends of the environment and so on.
Yes, also it's very interesting how to see how Creole language, in contrast to pidgins, can develop when a pidgin becomes the first language of a new generation. It means that the grandparents use that language, and after when they come the new generation, they speak the same language, and is going to be the mother tongue. And for instance, Haitian Creoles enveloped from a pedalized variety of French and is now the native language of most Haitians that is a variant of the French that they speak in that country. Yes, and the native language, it's involved into a language with its so complex grammar and vocabulary.
Yes, I think that Haitian Creole is a very good example of how a pidgin can transform into a fully developed language that is no longer just a contract language. It serves a wide range of communicative and expressive functions.
I think the complex relationship between Creoles and their parent language is quite interesting too. Like Haitian's Creole, for instance, is mutually intelligent with standard French, even though it shares a significant amount of vocabulary because they create new words to share and to understand between them and also to reflect the context that they were living.
Yes, is very assertive comment because it shows how Creoles can become distinct, full-fledged language in their own right, and also with their own unique phonology and syntax that is the part of the language development.
The text also highlights the Pidgization and creolization involve somewhat opposing linguistic process. Like Pidgization often entails simplification, whereas Creole lends to expansion and regulation. For example, Nigerian Pidgin English, for example, developed from English, but is more simplified and primarily used for informal communication. So for formal communication, there maybe you are going to use the grammar that is from English.
Yeah,
English.
that's a great example, and because Pidginization and creolization are fascinating process that illustrate how languages adapt to the specific needs and social contexts of their people that live in the different parts of the world.
Yes, in conclusion, I can say that Pidgin and Creoles are not linguistic curiosities, but dynamic and functional communication systems. They challenge traditional notions on proper language and demonstrate the adaptability of human communication because they have to see how they can communicate between them and in the context that they are living.
Absolutely correct your conclusion about this interesting article that we wrote. So they have a rich linguistic systems with their own set of rules and structures and play a significant role in the lives of their speakers and the cultures of the regions. So understanding their development and characteristic is essential for appreciating the different linguistic diversities and how the language was developed with the years.
Yes, I like what you say because this all for me. I like to say that in the word, I like to see the word as a fruit, salad fruit, and each fruit is very important for the salad to make them rich and delicious. So for me, diversity means acceptance and also richness of cultures because every culture has their own way of seeing the world. And what you say is also is relevant, I think, because they have characteristics that are essential, and we as part of the world, we need to appreciate the linguistic diversity that only human we have. So it's very, and you would say very sad if some culture and some Creoles start to disappear because we are going to disappear part of the identity of human being. So yes, it was really interesting this article. I think we learned a lot.
Yes, I agree with you, Sophie.
So thank you very much, Andrea. It was very interesting to talk to you and to talk about this article.
Thank you too.
So see you, and thank you.